Hey there guys, today I'll be doing something a little different than usual. I'll be using my voice today instead of using text since I want to try out something new. Anyway, enough about that for now. We've covered nearly all of the summer service up until now, so let's cover in the last one right here today, Summer Barghest. Let's go over her skills for a bit to see what I mean right here. Skill 1 is a skill that buffs Barghest's attack by 30% for 3 turns, as well as give her a 50% crit buff. And also on top of that, it gives her an HP regen buff that triggers whenever she does a normal attack. Now that part is great and all, but if you happen to take a 3-star or lower with you in your main party, she gets 2 extra effects with this skill as well. It's an extra 20% to her attack and a 10-star regen buff over 3 turns. Now with her previous effects, that makes this a total of 50% attack up for Barghest herself, which is something that you do want if you're using her as the main attacker, since her base attack is actually kind of low as it already is. How I feel about this though, I'm a little mixed on it honestly. The buff is really good provided you meet the requirements, but it also means you can't take something like the usual double support in order to get the most out of it. You can take a servant like the 3-star alter ego, who is capable of being like Castoria, though she is a little weaker, because she only provides 20% arts and 30% charge, which compared to Castoria, who provides 50% arts and 50% charge, that would be like giving up 30% arts and some NP charge just for Barghest to meet the conditions to get their additional effects. Another option you can try is something like Mozart, but while he can provide a really big arts buff and a huge star bomb, he doesn't provide any NP charge, nor does he provide it longer than 1 turn, unlike Castoria and the Alter Ego, who each provide their buffs for 3 turns. So in cases like Mozart, I don't think it might be worth it to get that extra 20% if it means that you have to give up on support like Castoria just to meet the requirements. So while I feel like it's a good skill, the 3-star and under requirement does kind of limit its full potential if you're using Barghest as the main attacker, because I don't think there are that many 3-star and under supports that can do it as good as, say, Castoria or another high-tier support. Skill 2, on the other hand, is trying to be more of a support skill. It charges her own MP gauge by 30%, but it provides invincibility for everyone but herself for the entire turn. It heals everyone but herself, and it reduces the cooldown for everyone but herself. This I like a lot more than I did skill 1. Yeah, it kind of sucks a bit that most of the effects here don't actually apply for herself, but for the party instead. But a lot of servants who have cooldowns longer than they would like would appreciate this, and providing hard defense for the party is still a very nice thing to have. Sith, who's on the same banner, is a servant that can absolutely take advantage of this skill. She has a lot of buffs and debuffs, but she technically doesn't have any hard defense that Barghest can provide, and her main skill that allows her to extend buffs is on a pretty long cooldown, so having that up faster is something that she really does want, that she can spam her Noble Phantasm more and get those buffs up for a longer period of time. You can also try running Tamamo as well if you want to keep trying to lower the skill cooldowns to be even faster, though in the case of the Sith teams it might be unnecessary. I think someone already shown that you can do it with double Sith and Barghest alone. For Barghest skill 3 though, this is the one that probably caught everyone's attention. This is the skill that allows her to change her Noble Phantasm from AoE to single target at the player's choice for 3 turns. Yep, you heard that right. You, the player, get to choose what type it will be, giving Barghest that flexibility that players who need AoE for like farming, you can keep it that way. And if you need to challenge harder content with like a single enemy, or if you're up against a node that has multiple enemies at first, but has a single enemy at the last wave, you can always switch to single target that way. And as a bonus, the skill also provides a 30% NP damage boost, which is certainly appreciated. And it also applies a super giant trait on Barghest, but who cares about that? It doesn't really do anything. Barghest doesn't have anything relating to that trait, so you can like ignore it. It's like flavor text basically. Anyway, putting that aside for the moment, I do think this is a great skill. It's a little plain outside of the NP change, but that's totally fine for me. The fact that they finally gave the player a choice to choose whatever NP you want, which is something I've been wanting ever since they first made it for Melusine, makes me really happy. I've always wanted something like this, so Thank you so much, Lasagna. Y'all did a great job with this one. Her NP is a 4-hit AoE Arts NP that, like I mentioned, can change into single target with her 3rd skill. It has the ability to remove offensive buffs as well, which can be handy at times. It also removes burn from the enemy, but this doesn't really matter. And her overcharge effect increases her arts cards by 20% up to 40% depending on her overcharge for 1 turn, which is a really good overcharge effect, but it's only for 1 turn, so it doesn't ramp up like Summer Melusines where it can get stronger and stronger with each wave and farming. But it's still way better than the most average overcharge effects that don't really do much, so I'll definitely be taking it. So overall, my thoughts on Summer Barghest are, I think she's a very fun servant, more or less. There's a lot of things you can do with her, and she can do some things that are better than others. But overall, if you ask me if I think that she's a must-pull, I'd say nah, it's a hard no for me, honestly. The other 2 on her banner are still kind of stronger options to pick from. And while Barghest is like very spread out and she's really flexible, she doesn't really do any one thing that I'd say stands out. She's a lot like Suzuka in that sense. She's not going to be a bad spot for your team, and she can fill out multiple roles if you lack an option. But at the same time, there are others that can also do her role as well, some better than she can. If you love Barghest, go on and roll. Like, otherwise, you don't really need her. Well, that's just my thoughts on her anyway. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope I can see you all at the next video. See you later.